The Jungle Book, what a wonderful place. Snakes, tigers, man cubs, bears. Oh, and apes. Can't forget about apes.
The History of King Louie by Amari Ben.
Now, King Louie's first appearance was in the 1966 Jungle Book and was the last film Walt Disney personally worked on. R.I.P. Walt Disney. Legends never die. King Louie is a funny, jazzy monkey/ape, technically, who likes to sing and dance. And he also has a brother named Larry. He looks like Danticle, but we'll get to him later. In the movie The Jungle Book, King Louie hires some monkeys to kidnap Mowgli because he wants to be exactly like him. It even says in his song, look. In this line right here, it says, "What I desire is man's red fire to make my wish come true." That's what he says in his song. That shows he wants to be exactly like Mowgli. But his plan gets foiled by Baloo the bear and Bagheera the panther. When Baloo dressed up like a monkey, that way he can dance around with King Louie, that way he can get distracted, and Bagheera could save Mowgli. But then his costume fell down. Then they start fighting on who gets Mowgli. But as they're fighting, King Louie sees a part of his palace falling down, so he goes to save it. Baloo sees this as an opportunity to tickle him, that way it can fall down. Then Bagheera, Baloo, and Mowgli run out of there, that way they can be safe, leaving King Louie with a wrecked palace. Now, the guy who voiced King Louie, which his name will be right here, when he first listened to the song "I Want to Be Like You" that King Louie sings, he loved it and he started dancing around, which caused inspiration for this scene. But sadly, he died a couple years later in 1975. Again, legends never die. He's happy in heaven now. Now, the next time we see King Louie is 1990 in a show called Tailspin. Now, in the show Tailspin, King Louie is not a king, so might as well just call him Louie. Louie and Baloo are actually best friends, which is kind of shocking. Now, these are the characters that are in the show. First, we got Kit Cloudkicker. Next, we got Rebecca Cunningham, which she's a nice lady and Baloo's boss. And then we got Molly, which is Rebecca's little tiny daughter. Now, as you see, they pulled a lot of characters from the Jungle Book, except one. If you guessed Bagheera, then you're correct. Bagheera is not in Tailspin, probably because he's a little too serious and grumpy. Anyways, back to Louie, he actually owns a club where all of his friends can hang out with him. As you see here, Baloo and Kit are hanging out with Louie in the nice, sweet club. Now, the guy who voices Louie in this version is Jim Cummings, an iconic voice actor. He voices Darkwing Duck, Bonkers, Winnie the Pooh, and the Tasmanian Devil, just to name a few. But anyways, let's go on to King Louie's next appearance. The next time we see King Louie is 1996. And we see him in a show called The Jungle Cubs. Now, The Jungle Cubs is a prequel to The Jungle Book. We ain't dealing with Tailspin anymore. We're dealing with the Jungle Book prequel. Now, in this version, King Louie is younger and is not a king. He is a prince, and he hangs out with all the little kids of the jungle. And you may be wondering, who are the little kids of the jungle? Well, we got Kaa the snake, Baloo the bear, Bagheera the panther, Shere Khan, and an elephant. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. And I don't feel like looking it up. So basically, he's the exact same, except he is just a little kid. These are the voice actors who voiced King Louie in Season 1 and Season 2 of The Jungle Cubs. Well, I guess we should go on our next appearance of King Louie. The next time we see King Louie is in 2002, or I should say King Larry, his brother. Now, the next time we see him is in The House of Mouse 2002, where he sings, "Ooby-Doo, I wanna be like M.O.U." Sadly, I can't sing the rest of it because it's copyrighted by Disney. This episode is about King Larry causing a lot of trouble to the House of Mouse. And boy, everyone is mad.
I mean, look at these faces, man. Look how depressed they are, man. Even Mickey Mouse. Oh my goodness, look how mad he is. Ah!
And you may be wondering, King Larry? Don't you mean King Louie? Well, hold on. Let me explain. Now, when the voice of King Louie died, his family didn't like how King Louie was portrayed. They didn't like how they took this man's voice and jazz and put it into a goofy ape. So, his family took the rights of King Louie. That means they couldn't make King Louie talk anymore. But they were able to use him in Tailspin because he didn't live in the jungle anymore and they reimagined him. And you may be wondering, well, they were able to use him in the Jungle Cups. Well, they made him a little kid, and that's different. Also, the House Mouse had all the Disney characters. Like, look at all the characters. We got Cinderella over there. We got Baloo. We got the Seven Dwarfs. We got Jasmine and Aladdin. And that's just to name a few. So Mickey Mouse was like in his office probably thinking like, man, I need to include King Louie. I got this new show and everything. Oh well, I'll just make a clone of him and call him his brother. There, problem solved. All right, get to work, people. Chop, chop. And that's how King Larry was born. Then we never saw him after that ever again. Now let's see where King Louie appears next. Oh, and also he was voiced by Jim Cummings again. The next time we see King Louie is in 2003. King Louie only makes a cameo in the Jungle Book 2 at the beginning, and he doesn't have any voice acting. He just appears for like 1 second. Okay, so let's continue on. And let's see where King Louie appears next. The next time we see King Louie is 2016. We see him like this. Oh, wait a minute. That's wrong. We actually see him as a horrifying Gigantopithecus. And you may be wondering, what is a Gigantopithecus? It's just a very, very large monkey. So in the remake, it's the exact same thing. King Louie hires some monkeys to take Mowgli. That way he can learn how to be exactly like him. But in the movie, the song I Want to Be Like You is a little different. It says something like this. It's hard to type, so this is the best you're going to get. So it says, now you may think it's ridiculous that me, a Gigantopithecus, would ever dream with the likes of you, man cub. He says something like that, but you can see the song is changed. You may be wondering, how could they change a cute little monkey to a Gigantopithecus? Well, let me explain. Remember how I said the voice actor died and Disney wasn't allowed to use King Louie anymore? So they had to make him a Gigantopithecus. And the second reason is that apes don't actually live in India where the Jungle Book takes place. And Disney wanted to be realistic, which Gigantopithecus actually lived in India 3,000 years ago or so. So they decided to use a Gigantopithecus instead of an ape. Now let's move on to King Louie's final appearance. The last time we see him is in 2023. The next time we see him is in a brief cameo in Once Upon a Studio. Can you find him? He appears right over here, way in the back. That's the last we ever saw of him. Whoop-de-doo. I want to be like you. I hope you enjoyed the history of King Louie. Make sure to like and subscribe. And this is Amari Ben hopping out.